running it back with another top 5 list sequel for another top 5 list, and in today's video we are making another installation in a top 5 list that I personally thought was dead and or discontinued, and that is the top 5 more types of players in TDS.
Number 18.
A very uncommon type of species, number 5 spot we have are the survivor with friends players, which is basically quads with friends, I guess you could say. And these guys are essentially what you exactly think of. These are the people who only or mainly or a lot of the times just play TDS with a group of friends. Now these group of friends could be like, I don't know, with another person or a trio or even just a full-on quads type of friend group. And quite honestly, in my opinion, these are one of the rarest species out there because I'm just gonna say it, not a lot of us have a bunch of friends who just play TDS just like us all of the time, and secondly, have the appropriate time to get on when you want to I don't know, try an update, or basically play Polluted Wasteland with the boys. Despite all of that stuff, a lot of things to actually do in TDS, a lot of us don't really have, you know, just a huge amount of friend group or even just a slight friend group to basically have qualify playing duos or trios or quads every single time we get onto TDS. And I believe this is not just a case for TDS, but pretty much every single game out there. Everyone has their own preferences and own schedules to do God knows what. Just to put it in short, not a lot of us actually play TDS with a friend group, and I've seen sometimes when queuing up with a bunch of random people in Polluted Wasteland, sometimes there's a person or two who knows the other person and then they're just talking shit about how easy this game mode is or whatever. These creatures are the most rarest because not all of us, I'm just gonna say it, have friends.
Number 10.
Flipping the concept upside down into the number 4 spot we have are the introverted players. Introverted players are the exact opposite. And I see this very commonly in, well, games I just queue up with randoms all the time, where no one really says anything and you guys kind of just like stand there, like not really talking at all and mostly just placing down your towers. Because again, the only reason you're queuing up with randoms is because, well, you don't really have anyone to do it with that you know of, aka friends. So you're just queuing up with randoms, seeing how they are, and if their sanity is in check and or stable enough to where you can actually get the W in the game mode you're playing with them. Now, as an introverted player, the only, I guess, unwritten rule that you have in your head as soon as you log into a game with a bunch of other people that are your teammates is to just not fuck up and just do your parts and essentially just get the W in the game mode. Not only have I seen this very popular pretty much in every single game mode, but also just special of events because no one really cares to talk because again, the whole idea behind the game is to just load in, do your parts, and hopefully if everyone does their parts as well, you guys win. GG's for everyone in the end. Not really any time you should talk is because you just want to ask about their days. And probably if you do, everyone will just look at you just like, wait, who are you talking to? Quite honestly, introverted players are not bad or anything, like at all. It's just that I think a majority of the people in the player base are introverted players and we mostly just keep to ourselves.
Number 7.
Dragged into a mental asylum into the number 3 spot we have are the OCD players. Now, as an OCD player myself, I can give you guys a personal tour of what it means to be an OCD player and all of the dirty, I guess, senses and hunches. I think one of the biggest ways, or I guess biggest things about me being an OCD player is having essentially every single little thing correct in my loadout. Now, I don't know if I have really done this or shown this on, I guess, footage or camera, but I tend to have my loadout basically organized in a very specific way, either ranking the cheapest towers from left all the way to the right to the most expensive towers, or basically having the weakest towers, which are on the left, to the strongest towers to the right. And I mainly like to place the support towers like Commander or DJ in the very middle of the loadout section all of the time. And that is mainly because I don't know why I have this weird mindset that like the middle, I guess, slot is supposed to be like the most important. Like as an example, if you place a commander in the middle loadout slot, it powers all of the other 2 loadout slots. I don't know why I have that mindset, but that's why I mainly put DJ always in the number 3 spot because it empowers everyone else. Something else that I know some other people like to also do as OCD players is making sure your other teammates have the very essential towers like accelerators or maybe even the other support towers, because if they don't and you're the only one with pretty much exactly what you need, you pretty much just have like a mental breakdown, because at that point it's kind of just getting to your head. I'm not that extreme with my teammates, but I am definitely extreme with the loadout condition specifically.
Number 6.
The true alpha males entering into the number 2 spots are the solo players. Now again, since I am a solo player, I can personally give you guys a grand tour about this. There are a lot of guides basically saying how to essentially beat hardcore, Badlands, Pizza Party event, Fallen mode on solo with ease. And quite honestly, it's kind of, you know, a little bit like heartwarming that there's also a lot of people out there who also want either a challenge to do it solo mode, or again don't really have anyone to do it with, so they're like, oh, looks like I can only do it in solo mode, I guess. It's both depressing but also prideful of some sort, essentially trying to take on a much harder challenge all by yourself, really going for the lone wolf title, as you could say. Now quite honestly, since again I am the type of guy who doesn't really have anyone to play TDS, I mainly play TDS, well, solo. That's why you mainly see a lot of footage of me playing Fallen, Molten, and Intermediate mode, solo mode, because I just really want to do everything myself, and I really just don't trust my teammates at all in pretty much any game I play. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I decided to do the I managed to solo these specific game modes, well, as a solo person. Currently I have, I believe, 2 of them, which was hardcore and then the Pizza Party I did very recently. Pizza Party was only manageable because they rebalanced it, and hardcore was an insane challenge that I am still so proud of, that I managed to solo it and get the badge for the very first time, basically proving that I am a solo main. But in reality, I believe the main thing about solo players is that not only do we want a stronger challenge, but we just kind of don't really trust our teammates whatsoever.
Number 1.
Check this out.
But in number 1 spot we have are the mainer players. For an example, the loadout mainers, who essentially main only one or essentially a few loadouts in pretty much every single game mode. Like, I don't know, maybe you like farm and then brawler and then commander, ranger, and an accelerator, and you use this loadout in every single game mode from the very beginning, easy mode, until all the way until hardcore. Maybe it's just your favorite loadout or something. But then there's also the other people who have many different loadouts that they also usually main. Like, for an example, I usually main the all golden loadout, which is basically just a bunch of golden characters mashed together to make pretty much Omega team. And then you have other players who specifically really only use one tower in every single loadout in one of their loadouts, no matter the occasion. As an example, I main all the time the DJ. I don't know what it is, but the DJ cannot carry me if I do not have him in my loadouts. This man literally carries everyone, especially the massive rework that he got, increasing range, decreasing upgrade prices, and of course increasing damage. There is literally no loadout I have not played recently where I have not used the DJ. I main the DJ, okay? But then there's also other people who also main other different towers, like for an example, Ranger. I know a lot of people main the Ranger and put him in every single loadout because of his extremely powerful damage per shot. And then there's other people who main the Accelerator because of the insane damage boost that he's gotten very recently, reworked. And then there's all the other people who main different type of towers and different types of loadouts. And quite honestly, these guys are definitely probably the most common players in TDS history.